On August the 5th, brothers and sisters, the city of Wilmington, Delaware, took out a notice to auction off the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy campus, the campus we bought, the campus we've been working on for 6.5 years, for unpaid vacant property registration fees. I'm going to call it what it is: racism. Discriminatory treatment.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shhhcrets. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like raw, unfiltered opinions and the kind of truth that makes folks squirm a little. I know this story has been active for a few days now, and I almost didn't say anything because the bigger channels have already been covering it. But after listening to a few of those breakdowns, I realized there's a whole side of this that hasn't been touched. And honestly, I can't let this one slide. There is a lot left unsaid about Dr. Umar Johnson and his degeneracy, and I just need to get this truth off my chest. So yes, we're going to talk about the fact that his beloved FDMG Academy is facing auction for unpaid vacant property registration fees, that he's tens of thousands of dollars in the hole with back taxes and utilities, and that the Prince of Pan-Africanism has once again turned what is clearly a financial irresponsibility issue into a conspiracy, a race war, and an all-out pity party.
This past weekend, without an email, this past weekend, without a letter in the mail, this past weekend, without a phone call, the city of Wilmington put a notice on the door handle of both of our schools, informing me that if we don't pay the past due vacant property registration fees and outstanding utilities by the 25th of Black August, they will sell our campus. Brothers and sisters, I want y'all to get ready for a protest. I want all FDMG donors and supporters to get ready for a protest. We may have to march on City Hall, brothers and sisters. We may have to march on City Hall because of the racism. I knew they didn't want Dr. Umar in Wilmington. I didn't know it was this bad. We knew they didn't want us in that city, but we didn't know they would go this far. Our accounts are frozen. Our accounts are frozen. Our accounts are frozen. We need y'all to help us pay this bill. We're going to fight like hell to get our accounts freed up. We're going to fight like hell to get our accounts freed up. But if we don't, y'all got to help us pay this bill and save our school. Y'all got to help us pay this bill and save our school. Make sure y'all hit my Venmo and my PayPal. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist, or tap my Venmo. Text me for the links to donate to FDMG. Text me for the links to support Dr. Umar. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. We need you to come in from Africa, from Europe, from Australia, from Canada, to come in from all the 50 states and show the city of Wilmington, Delaware. You will not disrespect Black people. You will not sabotage Black people. You will not discriminate against Black people. And you will not try to steal property from Black people. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifatunde, standing strong, Leo season. We will not quit. We will not abdicate. We will not equivocate. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Garveyism to get back. Pan-Africanism to perish. See you in Nat Turner land. See you in New Orleans. See you in Hattiesburg. See you in Mobile, Alabama. This is your brother, King Kong Consciousness. I love you too. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
But to me, this isn't just about this latest mess. This is about how a man like Umar, who, if we're being real, isn't particularly special, isn't particularly intellectual, and whose certifications and credentials have long been questioned, got to this position of influence in the first place. And here's my take. Dr. Umar is propped up not only by dusty hoteps, but, and I say this with love and frustration, by Black women. And there's a reason for that. It's because we have no heroes. It is rare to find Black men, especially in the public sphere, who defend single mothers, advocate for Black families, and speak as though they genuinely care about the community as a collective. That is our weakness as Black women. We rarely encounter Black men outside of our own relatives who seem to care a damn about us. And too often, even the men in our own families are abusive, unreliable, or absent. Dr. Umar plays directly into that void. He doesn't care about the Black community. He cares about himself, his image, and how he can use our shortcomings and emotional deficits to his advantage. He knows that if he rails against Black men dating out, a core part of his base will cheer him on because they hate to see it. He knows that if he panders to single Black mothers, he's tapping into an audience that has been conditioned through the church, through social pressure, through systemic neglect, to rally behind any man who even pretends to champion them. He doesn't have to actually do anything for us. He just has to say the right things, sprinkle in enough cultural pride, and he's got a ready-made pipeline of loyalty and donations. And the reason I know I'm not far-fetched is because this is the same man who double-speaks constantly. He talks about building strong Black families while being part of breaking them. He's had his own daughter publicly call him out for his absence and degeneracy. He's been exposed for sleeping with strippers and engaging in all manner of behavior that would have his followers clutching their pearls if it were any other man. He has absolutely no integrity. He is a wolf in sheep's clothing, and his wool is woven from nothing but buzzwords and borrowed credibility. Now let's talk about this school situation, because it is the perfect example of how his game works. For 6 years, he's been collecting donations for FDMG. 6 years of live streams, speeches, and endless appeals for money, but no certificate of occupancy, no operational classrooms, and now we find out the buildings are still vacant and racking up yearly fines. This isn't new information to him. The city didn't just spring this on him with a rubber band and masking tape like he wants you to believe. Anyone who has owned property, run a business, or even just paid rent knows the city will contact you repeatedly about unpaid bills. They will mail, email, and call before it gets to this point. But Umar's first instinct is to spin it into a political hit job rather than admit he didn't handle his business. And the arrogance? He literally compared himself to Black Jesus during one of his rants, as if his personal struggles and mismanagement are on par with persecution. That is not just delusion, that's narcissism in its purest form. He deflects every criticism by attacking YouTubian struggle streamers, calling his critics jealous and envious, and dismissing anyone who doesn't donate as irrelevant. Meanwhile, he's the one panhandling on the internet, living off the very platform he ridicules others for using. But again, this wouldn't work if he didn't have the audience he has. And we need to have a hard conversation about why some Black women are willing to overlook glaring hypocrisy, unfulfilled promises, and outright disrespect from a man as long as he's saying what they wish more Black men would say. It's the same emotional trap that keeps many tied to certain pastors or community leaders. The hope that this one will be different, that this one is the real deal, because we are starving for representation that doesn't demean us or abandon us. Umar has studied that need, packaged it into speeches about Pan-African unity, and monetized it. And yet, the receipts are endless. From alleged fake credentials to public scandals, from broken family ties to sexual misconduct allegations. He is not the revolutionary leader his followers paint him to be. He's an opportunist who saw a lane and ran it into the ground for personal gain. And now that the grift is catching up to him, we're seeing the desperation seep through, the constant fundraising pleas, The conspiracies about enemies hacking his accounts, the race card theatrics whenever accountability comes knocking. To me, this isn't just a cautionary tale about Umar Johnson. It's a cautionary tale about what happens when a community is so starved for validation that we'll cling to anyone who says the right things, even when their actions tell an entirely different story. Umar's rise wasn't built on competence. It was built on exploiting our vulnerabilities, our distrust of outside systems, and our desire to believe that someone has our back. And that's why this whole FDMG auction fiasco feels like more than just a bad headline. It's a breaking point. Because if after 6 years, millions in donations, and nothing to show but excuses and unpaid bills, people are still riding for him, then the problem isn't just Umar. The problem is us, and the way we allow wolves in sheep's clothing to graze in our fields as long as they bawl loud enough in our direction. So, what do you think? Is this the final straw for Umar's followers, or will the cycle keep spinning until the buildings crumble and the story fades? Let me know in the comments. And remember, charisma without integrity is just manipulation in a nice suit.